The fundamental principle applied after grain harvest is post-harvest cultivation, primarily aimed at interrupting soil evaporation. Bare stubble fields should be tilled more urgently than those covered with straw cut and scattered by the combine. A dilemma may be choosing the right tool and technique. What can be used to effectively carry out post-harvest cultivation? At one time, skimming plows were used for post-harvest cultivation. However, they have long been replaced in most farms by other tools, whose use may precede plowing or simplified no-plow cultivation. The most important task of using stubble aggregates is to interrupt water evaporation from the soil. It is estimated that water loss from soil during shallow cultivation is about 3 liters per square meter, while in the case of shallow plowing with a plow, it is twice as large. Delayed post-harvest cultivation and leaving volunteer weeds for a longer period is not recommended. Weeds that reach a height of 10 cm cause a water loss of 12 liters per square meter. This is the amount necessary for emerging rapeseed. Further advantages of post-harvest cultivation include the even distribution and accelerated decomposition of post-harvest residues on the field and the reduction of the threat of diseases and pests. Shallow stubble cultivation up to 5 cm is gaining more and more popularity. Another concept is ultra-shallow cultivation at the depth of 2 to 3 cm. In this type of cultivation, knife rollers, compact disc harrows, shallow tillage cultivators, and mulching harrows are used. The intensity of evaporation results from the working depth and degree of compaction, not the type of tool used. The closure of furrows after the passage of discs or cultivator tines is significant here. More water is lost through a more undulating and cracked surface. Numerous tests show that straw chopped by a combine and scattered on the ground surface is the best insulating layer. With technological progress, skimming plows have been replaced by stubble cultivators and disc harrows, which today are practically the most commonly used machines to this type of work. The popularity of stubble cultivators arises from their versatility. With this machine, we can perform both shallow skimming and deep cultivation reaching up to 35 cm. Stubble cultivators make up a wide range of Rolmako tools. The task of these tools is to lift the stubble across the entire working width and mix it into the upper soil layer with the so-called duckfoot coulters. An example can be the Rolmako U497 pre-sow and skimming cultivator. Another option is heart-shaped coulters with side wings, Rolmako model U453. In the multifunctional U436 cultivator, a greater number of working elements are used than in a two-beam version. When working with a large amount of post-harvest residues, material flow is much easier thanks to the additional beam. The 3-beam cultivator is recommended for farms that want to use no-plow cultivation. Specialized devices for shallow soil cultivation also include disc harrows. Compared to cultivators, disc harrows are more efficient and durable. In the design of these tools, the discs are mounted in 2 parallel rows with separate cushioning for each of them. It is also worth mentioning the mulching harrows here. Working with a mulch harrow is very efficient. To some extent it helps save water, and even weed seeds germinate quite well because they are not buried too deep. However, the rate of straw decomposition is very low here. Treatments with this tool are mainly suitable for fields intended for spring crops. Precisely covering the post-harvest residues will ensure that without access to oxygen and in appropriate water conditions, they will decompose. This process positively affects soil fertility. Residuals left uncovered on the soil surface and growing cereals consecutively provide a breeding ground for fungi and pests. Fields left fallow for a long time, especially after cereal harvest, may become overgrown with volunteer plants and overgrown stubble and straw residues hinder further cultivation. Post-harvest tillage includes mainly harrowing, cultivating, and plowing. Factors affecting soil condition include weed infestation, clod state, type and class, water infiltration and storage, as well as soil nutrient content. The timing of the start of post-harvest operations and the intervals at which individual tasks are performed are also crucial. Therefore, proper assessment by the operator of the aforementioned factors is very important, and tasks should be distributed over time to ensure favorable plant vegetation. Stubble plowing is an important agronomic procedure. Its primary purpose is to reduce unproductive water evaporation and to mix post-harvest residues and remaining mineral, organic fertilizers or lime. It is commonly accepted that stubble plowing must be done quickly. However, this does not mean it can be done carelessly, as it is an important procedure that significantly affects future yields. It can be said that stubble plowing fully deserves the title of a necessary cultivation procedure. It reduces water loss, allows for weed control by stimulating the germination of fallen seeds of plants and weeds, and allows for some ecological production by eliminating glyphosate. When operating cultivators equipped with straw spreaders, it is essential to remember to do so diagonally to combine harvester's path, and the procedure should be done as shallow as possible. You may be wondering who we are. Romaco is a manufacturer of agricultural machinery, mostly exporting its products to foreign markets. At this moment, we want to focus on Poland, aiming to utilize the experience gained in the international market, which forms a solid foundation for our actions. But are we a good partner? What is our mission and strategy, and what can we offer our clients and dealers? We encourage you to learn more about our brand's history. You will find everything in our presentation, which you can find at rolmako.com/presentation.